Good morning. Welcome to Hope. I am Gary McAlpin. Some say Reverend, some say Father, as I see Zeke waving at me. And I am your guest speaker for today. And normally I'm a counselor for Cherokee Nation at our Talking Leaves Job Corps Center. And which I'm proud to announce we have been given the green light to stay open. It's a huge relief because it would literally be turning thousands and thousands of people over to being homeless, being without a place to go. And so we're very proud and we're very glad that people spoke out, and that is literally what saved it. And so this administration listens to those that scream the loudest, we're finding. So anyway, welcome to Hope, and whether you're a visitor or whether you're a member, we're glad that you're here. And please stand with me if you are able for our hymn of gathering. Please say in unison with me, we light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. You may be seated. Today, for our time together, let us leave our plowshares at the door, gathering ourselves to center, uniting in community for peace and creativity. And now let's say our covenant together in unison.
Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Our first hymn is number 34 in the hymnals, Though I Speak with Bravest Fire. may be seated.
Good morning, friends. My name is Rebecca Jones, and I have a few announcements for you. First of all, overall this month, March, is Women's History Month, and we have some history, and we're going to celebrate that. On March 8th, there will be a special worship service in observance of International Women's Day, and on March 22nd, there will be an adult forum celebrating the women who helped found our church, and a luncheon, because we like to eat together. And also there are displays in the fellowship hall about different points in women's history. And today is the last day to submit your answers to the CYRE survey, CYRE being Children and Youth Religious Education. And if you'll go to your email and find your highlights, there's a link on there to click. And it's not just for parents with kids, it's also for everybody. We'd like to know what you're interested, what you think that kids should learn, and if you're interested in helping, volunteering to help with that. So please, everyone, this afternoon when you get home, check your email, go to the highlights, and fill out that survey. And on Thursday, March 5th, is March's Women of Hope gathering. They meet on the first Thursday of the month, most months. And it's just a group of women, and men are, of course, welcome too. They do a potluck, and you just sit around and talk about things that are, important. Whether it's, whether your kids should dye their hair, or whether we should be bombing in Iran. And let's see, what else? March 14th is our famous chili cook-off night.
I won last year.
And Jackie won last year. I have won before. But anyway, and Deborah. So those are challenges for you. If you would like to bring a pot of chili, be sure and sign up for that so everybody knows how many pots we'll have. Two more would make the perfect amount. So if you want to do that, sign up out there where all the other sign-up stuff is. And then after the chili, and we'll vote for our favorites, there'll be dessert and bingo. So it should be fun. Sign up if you'd like to come. Also, all this stuff and more is on these cute little, what is this, a flyer, a card? They're on the visitor's desk, is that right, you guys? And it just has everything that's gonna happen this month. You can stick it on your refrigerator or wherever. And there are some upcoming events for April on here too. So it's a handy dandy little item to have. So grab one if you'd like. And last but not least, there is a man here who, you guys don't even know how much he does. You see him act as greeter, you see him act as usher, like he is today. But he just fixes little stuff around the church all the time. He just sees it needs to be done and does it. So sometimes you don't even know who to thank. But today, this gentleman's is his birthday. And I have permission to say that he's 92 today. And that is Warren Cox. Happy birthday to you.
Good morning, everyone. Today, we're going to read about What Does It Mean to Be Present by Reina Diorio. We all want people in our lives that are present, right? What does it mean to be present? Does it mean showing up in class? No. Does it mean sharing something at show and tell? No. Does it mean wrapping yourself up? No. Being present means listening carefully when other people are speaking. Noticing when someone needs help and taking the time to give them the help they need. Focusing on what's happening now instead of thinking about what's next. Appreciating what you have, even if what someone else has seems better. Waiting patiently for your turn. Treating each new experience as an opportunity, and understanding that making mistakes is how we learn and grow. Being grateful for your family and friends and telling them so. Savoring each bite of your delicious food. Cuddling with your puppy and enjoying how soft and wiggly he feels. Relishing the warmth of the sun and the sound of the rain. Feeling the sand between your toes, watching the rolling waves, smelling the briny seaweed, listening to the cawing seagulls, and tasting the ocean's salty spray. Allowing the rhythm of your breath in and out to make you feel peaceful. Closing your eyes and being still enough to hear your inner voice. Being present means living in the moment. It means realizing that yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why we call it present. So tell your friends what it means to be present and spread the word. When we're all present, life can be much richer, fuller, and happier. All You Fascists by Woody Guthrie. I'm going to tell you, fascists, you may be surprised. The people in this world are getting organized. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. Race hatred cannot stop us. This one thing we know. Your poll tax and Jim Crow and greed has got to go. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. Join with me if you know this song. All you fascists bound to lose. I said all you fascists bound to lose. Yes, sir, all you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. People of every color marching side to side. Marching across these fields where 1 million fascists died.
You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. I'm going into this battle and take my Union gun. We'll end this world of slavery before this battle's won. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose.
The challenges of living in an ever-increasing fascist society leaves us at times holding our breath, it seems. With every newscast that comes on, with every headline news, this is happening right now. And that's the way I felt when I woke up yesterday, hearing the news that we were, along with Israel, attacking Iran. Instead of using diplomatic measures, instead of using treaty work, we just go automatically to blasting the country and its infrastructure. And what was so betelling about this, in the context of our ever corrupt system right now, the first reports of an atrocity came from the bombing of an all-female girls' school. Did anyone else see that on the news?
Yep, killing the future.
I felt like my stomach dropped. Because I truly believe all of this is grandiose actions to cover up what's been happening to little girls and little boys now for centuries in our country and allowing it to go on. It gave me chills to hear that a joint missile effort from the United States and Israel attacked an Iranian all-girls school. It's like every day we wake up with some sort of injustice that is going on around us, fueled by what I believe at the heart is a fascist ideology. Without going into the definitions of fascism, because many of us have lived through it and seen it in other countries, and many of us have experienced it in different communities for the entirety of the United States history. It isn't new. What's new is its ever-increasing territorial grab for normal, even suburban white communities now when going after what they deem as illegal citizens or not citizens, whatever you want to say, but going after them is including now a broad spectrum of society that had not seen that type of force before, unless you were at Standing Rock or Wounded Knee or many of the other historical incidences where our government used fascist techniques to take care of the protesters and those that were just trying to save life. That's the bottom line. This week in the Kansas legislature, they just ruled that trans people could not even have IDs. Has anyone seen that on the news? Folks, this is a dangerous time for those especially who are more vulnerable. To be honest with you, I changed my sermon so much because of what was happening. And I got to be honest with you, it was so much happening all at once. And then yesterday we saw, and I heard from a group that is called Tally Quality. Has anyone heard of that group? It's a group in Tahlequah that helps those from the LGBT community and raises awareness. They're a nonprofit group, and they were told they couldn't set up a booth at our farmers market. The Tahlequah Farmers Market has always been a progressive element in our community. So then Facebook messages started to fly back and forth. It blew up, and the farmers market said it was all just miscommunication. That basically their remark was, we discriminate against lots of groups. That's because we only allow certain groups like Girl Scouts, churches, etc. And so at this point in time, and I can't speak what's going to happen tomorrow, but even in Tahlequah, what used to be one of the most progressive communities in Oklahoma is starting to see a turn, making our communities less welcoming for those they deem as lesser than. It has nothing to do with lifestyle. It has nothing to do with color of skin. It has to do with the degradation of human beings. It has nothing to do with culture, and it has nothing to do with heritage. It is hate for those that don't fit a narrow ideology of systems. The Tahlequah Farmers Market person responded to me and said, "We did refuse to let a church set up one time, though, because they were selling a raffle for an AR-15. And we didn't want that gun to be at the farmer's market."
Well, it's open carry anyway.
Right. Exactly. So, as you can see, as the excuse is trying to be formulated, it just sounds worse and worse and worse. Even here in our own state, our own legislature this year tried to get a bill in that would make it illegal for us to help certain people. For those of you that come from a Christian perspective or that are Christian, this is a direct cut against the teachings of Jesus Christ. If you consider yourself a Christian, but you're making laws to go against the teachings of Jesus, can you even call yourself a Christian? They're following a system that's based on hate, just like many religions do. Like the hate that we saw in Broken Arrow a couple of months ago, when the community came together because they were scared that the Muslim community would be terrorists. The biggest terrorist attack that we've ever experienced in Oklahoma was by a Christian. He was not Muslim. He and his partners in crime were a part of the church. This part of the church that is seeing nationalism as more important than even the Savior who died for them. This type of thinking is not unfamiliar to us in Oklahoma. Is anyone watching The Lowdown? Anyone heard of it? I want to suggest it to you, and I normally don't plug well, yeah, I do. A famous star in our midst. We have several friends that are in this show, and if I want to encourage you to watch it, because the entire thing, I believe, is the most accurate portrayal of Oklahoma that you will find on TV. It is absolutely brilliant. And without giving too much, it involves a white nationalist church group called the Open Well. One Well, sorry. Thank you. My memory, One Well is a church, and it's led by convicts who have changed their lives because of Jesus. But then taking it a next step farther, it's not Jesus that really is the center of their religion, it's the white race. And so they're trying to set up a community much like the one in Arkansas, in northern Arkansas, that is a complete white-only community. And so even in media today, what we're showing in the media and portraying on TV has such an accurate portrayal in real life, especially in red states such as ours. Not to say that this ideology is restricted to us. It's in Michigan and California and everywhere else too, but it's more concentrated here. So when we're in these times such as these, our calling, again, to refresh who we are as a people and as a community, our calling is not to sit idly by and watch this machine destroy our communities, but to do what we can to rise up against this machine. Dietrich Bonhoeffer fought against the machine of Nazi government in Germany. And he coined a term, a quote that he said was, "We are not to simply bandage the wounds of the victims beneath the wheels of injustice." In other words, we're not to just go along helping those who get hurt, although that is a part of our calling. But let's go up the river. Let's try to stop this from happening. And he says we are to drive a spoke into the wheel itself. Well, how do we do that? Many of us don't have high security clearances to try to work for the government and change the system. It's changed from where we are in our communities. And it's changed by utilizing the gifts that we've been giving. And I would say creativity is one of the most important weapons that we have. You see, Howard Zinn said one time, "There is no flag large enough to cover the shame of killing innocent people. You cannot justify the mass killing of people by simply calling them an enemy, because they are human beings. When governments wage war, they turn living, breathing human beings into abstractions on a map. And once they are abstractions, it becomes easier to destroy them." Our call is to rehumanize each other and those especially that are more vulnerable. Our call is to let them know that they're important, that they're vital, and that they are just as worth living and breathing here in our communities as we are. This is done through music. It's done through art. In 1969, does anyone remember those years? I do, barely. I'm just kidding. I was 3. I do have some memories, but not of this. So John Lennon and Yoko Ono, does anyone remember them? Well, in 1969, they had seen lots of sit-ins. Lots of protests, would line up and sit together and link arms, especially like on the Bettis Bridge and different places for the civil rights movement. And they wanted to be more creative. So they created the bed-in. So don't lose heart for those that think I can't do any sort of protest. John and Yoko showed us that even doing things with a purpose and letting others know about it can show the creativity in fighting fascism. It's a creative way to point out just how silly killing each other is. And we've already lost, is it now 20-some people to ICE just in the last year that we know of. And that doesn't include the mass graves and the disappearing of thousands from their concentration camps. We have no idea. Another artist that used his voice was Woody Guthrie, which we are so honored to have the Woody Guthrie Center here in Tulsa. And using the music that he created to reflect the importance of being human, of being worthy of life and justice and humanity, and using those gifts to not just spread awareness, but to support and fight that evil being that's perpetuated by the machine. Every year they give out Woody Guthrie Awards, and just Wednesday night I got to see one of the recipients that the Woody Guthrie Center honored. It was the Dropkick Murphys. Has anyone heard of them? Was anyone else there? No? Okay. It was a great concert, but I want to bring them up because they're very much in the vein of Woody Guthrie. And they're very outspoken against MAGA and the fascism today. So if anyone likes Irish punk, I would recommend them as well. So you're leaving with a list of artistic ways to fight fascism.
I think also Shipping Off to Boston was based on a poem written by Woody Guthrie.
Yes, yes. And they just did an acoustic album that's all Woody Guthrie songs. Yeah, yeah. So look them up. So you've got to watch The Lowdown and listen to Dropkick Murphys and Woody Guthrie. Continue on, because I assume there's probably a lot of you that listen to Woody every week. And so using this creativity through art, through music, through media, we can continue to fight this rising fascism. Even comedians are being called out by our own president. When a president complains about comedians, we're in trouble. And then literally refusing to allow certain politicians to be aired on CBS now. Does anyone watch CBS still?
Just for Stephen Colbert.
In case you didn't know, CBS has now been taken over by the regime. I'll just put it that way. It's easier instead of going through all the different steps of authority over them. You know, it's all Bari Weiss, if you've heard of her. Anyway, so CBS is now a part of the regime. And there's still good shows on there, though. Yeah, Stephen Colbert and others. But making these decisions to support that creativity in not just our own lives, but in those around us that are literally putting their lives on the line every single day. Some of our politicians I'm really fearful for because they're pushing hard. The majority of the Democratic Party is right in line with Israel now and has been pretty much bought out, I think. I hear a lot about trips over to Israel, and so all of this doesn't surprise me. Like I've said before, we can't rely just on our political party to do things because we're not being represented. We're not being represented. So I'd like to end with some words of another great protest singer, and his name is Pete Seeger. Has anyone heard of him? Pete Seeger? Okay. He said, "O sacred world, now wounded, we pledge to make you free of hate and war and hunger and selfish cruelty. And here, right here, in our small corner, we will plant a tiny seed, and it will grow to beauty, to shame the face of greed." Amen.
Gary, may I add something to you, Sam?
Yes.
As you all know, I'm really big into Boy Scouts. This week, our troop decided to become a family troop. That means we incorporate females into our operations. And you probably also saw in the news the pressure from the Department of Defense about the pressure they're putting on us. They have put on pause the citizenship and society merit badge, which we have sponsored in this troop. This is a local battle for us at this church and for me. This is a step, and I appreciate your support, and the troop appreciates your support. It's just one of many things we try to do, as Gary
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our generosity recipient for March is Women in Recovery, and I caught some of the talk this morning. I'm so glad that is active in our community. It's so needed. Please make checks out to Hope Unitarian and put generosity in the memo line, and then checks with no notation will be applied to your pledge for the operating fund. Please give generously. Please stand with me if you are able for hymn number 131.
Okay.
Good job. It was a test. Foundations we did not lay. We warm ourselves in fires we did not light. We sit in the shade of trees we did not plant. We drink from the wells we did not dig. We profit from persons we did not know. We are ever bound in community. Now let's do our hymn. Number 131. Please read from the extinguishing of the chalice as I extinguish the chalice.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts
Until we are together again. Having extinguished this flame, let its flicker rest in your heart and go out into this world taking light wherever you go until we come back together again, bringing our flames as one. Go in peace.